Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Blue skies, sunny day here in the South. The roof is open in Atlanta for the Vikings and the Falcons. Let's head down to the field. Say hi to Christina Pink. Christina? Thank you very much, Christina. It was mentioning that the top two targets for these teams, Drake London and Justin Jefferson, he remains out for Minnesota, although he's been a part of the team. And the Vikings did win the toss and defer. Mark Schlereth, Chris Myers, Christina Pink. We'll get that mic corrected, so we'll get her reported at some point. Greg Joseph ready to go. And boy, there is an air of kind of the unknown with both of these quarterbacks getting, well, Atlanta, Taylor Heineke, his first start as a Falcon and the first NFL start ever.
Well, Chris, I can't really speak until I hear the dulcet tones of Christina Pink, so I'm just going to let you go ahead and knock this thing out.
We'll see Jaron Hall from Brigham Young, but first we'll hear from Christina.
Well, here I am, guys. Yeah, a couple of backup quarterbacks thrust into the starting role, but also missing their #1 receiving options. Drake London is out for the Falcons, dealing with a groin injury, but told me he is taking it day by day. As for the Vikings, their star, Justin Jefferson, is on IR with a hamstring injury, but he told me he is feeling better. He is eligible to be activated next week. He said, I don't know, we'll see, but I am getting that hamstring stronger every day.
All right, well, we'll get a look at Bijan Robinson, who said he was ready to roll as we kicked off the open here. Thank you, Christina. Heineke, last week, he came in second half and was surprised that they called his number. 12 out of 21, 175 yards. He did have a touchdown. Ritter has been the starter all season long, has had trouble with turnovers and some mistakes, thus the decision made.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you see a lot more under center with Heineke, and that play action opens up with him being under center, and it's something you want to take advantage of.
41 of Minnesota, Daniil Hunter makes the tackle. Let's check in with Christina.
Hey guys, Jaron Hall has been ruled out with a concussion. He remains back in the Vikings locker room. Joshua Dobbs, who has been with the team for less than a week, preparing to come in the game. He did take some snaps on the sideline. I am also told that running back Cam Akers would be the emergency quarterback if necessary.
Thank you, Christina. Akers, the former Ram running back, who we thought we'd see more of today. Metellus back in the game. Let's get a game break. Say hi to Carissa Thompson.
Hello, Chris. So Green Bay is the lowest scoring team in the first half this season, but Aaron Jones up the middle there gets them on the board early. 7-0 over the Rams. Brett Rippon starting for LA today. Chris?
All right, thank you, Carissa. Yeah,
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Geico. It's easy to Geico. And by Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
In honor of the NFL's Salute to Service initiative and in advance of Veterans Day, we proudly salute our nation's heroes and the organizations that serve them. Fox Sports partners with Purple Heart Homes to provide housing solutions for disabled and aging veterans. Visit purpleheartshomesusa.org to learn more. Thanks goes out. And so Jaron Hall, 5th-round rookie from BYU, got the start. His first NFL start, was moving on in, got hit and ruled out for the remainder of the game with a concussion. So in comes Joshua Dobbs, the former Cardinal. 7 different teams he's been on, suffers a safety. The Atlanta defense on the spot, and then Lorenzo Carter a moment ago with a fumble recovery leads to 3.
Yeah, and I think right now you're just telling your offense, guys, we got to get some positive plays put together. No negative plays. They've had so many negative plays in the run game, in the backfield. Just get a couple positives, and let's put a little drive together here.
Alexander Madison has it, but there's just no room. Campbell again on the tackle. Christina?
Well, yeah, Joshua Dobbs pretty upset with himself after the fumble on the sideline. Just observed Kevin O'Connell going over to his quarterback, telling him, we're good, don't worry. He told us that positive reinforcement is important. Leadership shows a lot in adversity.
40. Let's get another update with Carissa.
Thank you so much, Chris. Pats trailing 10-7. Mac Jones hands it off to Ramondre Stevenson, who takes this one 64 yards for the score, the longest run of his career. Pats in front 14-10. Chris?
All right, thanks for the update. Back in Los Angeles.
We are pushing towards the second half of the season. So coming up on the Verizon Halftime Show, we'll check in on a battle of the birds, Seahawks and Ravens in Baltimore. Plus, we'll get you set for America's game of the week between the Cowboys and Eagles. We will see you at the half.
Thank you, Kurt. Great-looking studio. Verizon halftime coming your way with the gang. All the highlights and scores. It's been all about field goals here. Vikings use a timeout. Let's recap. Jaron Hall on the doorstep of a touchdown. Concussion takes him out. Joshua Dobbs comes in. Calais Campbell drops him for a safety. Battle of field goals in between all of this until a moment ago. Dobbs on the move to Madison. We got a one-point game.
There you go. That's exactly how you drew it up. One-point game, and everybody celebrate.
Yeah. Battle back to get to within a point. Arthur Smith frustrated about something here as Kevin O'Connell has his team set to receive the second half kickoff. Heineke has led the Falcons to a one-point advantage here. Verizon halftime report with Kurt Menefee and the crew straight ahead.
Welcome to the Verizon Halftime, the official 5G network of the NFL.
Hey, need a quarterback? Sign Josh Dobbs, right? He's been everywhere this season, has the Vikings within one as we welcome you to the Verizon Halftime. How about the Packers hosting the Rams?
All right, Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Rams, out with an injured thumb on his right hand, his throwing hand. But it's Green Bay. Aaron Jones up the middle, 3-yard touchdown run. Jones puts his sunglasses on in celebration. I don't know what. There's no sun up there. Anyway, Green Bay 7-3 over the Rams at the half.
It's his thing.
It officially goes down tomorrow, the sun.
Okay, good. Thank you. Washington Commanders are at the Patriots. Mac Jones, quarterback for New England, watches Ramondre Stevenson on a 64-yard run down the right sideline. 14-10 New England on top of Washington. That is a halftime score. Seahawks are at the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, many say, is a front runner for MVP in the league. Well, Gus Edwards looking pretty good here. 3-yard touchdown run straight up the middle. His second on the day, 17-3. Baltimore on top of Seattle. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at the Houston Texans. Baker Mayfield out of Oklahoma. Looking best route in all of football, Jimmy.
All the football crossing route.
There you go. 3-yard touchdown to Cade Otton. 17-10 Tampa Bay on top of Houston. Bears at the Saints. Chicago at New Orleans. Justin Fields still out at third straight game he's actually missed. And this Derek Carr, though, of the Saints, as he finds Taysom Hill on a nice little 2-yard out route. 14-all Bears and the Saints at the half. Cardinals, Browns, Deshaun Watson returns after missing 3 games at quarterback for Cleveland. Looking, ball hits the helmet, deflected up in the air. Amari Cooper there to pick it out of the air for an 11-yard touchdown. 13-0, Cleveland on top of Arizona. Then earlier this morning in Frankfurt, Germany, Tua Tagovailoa finds Tyreek Hill. He fumbles. Mike Edwards, well, he laterals it to Brian Cook. Look at him high-stepping. Jimmy, look at that.
I can run that fast.
I know, but look, that's the longest stride I've ever seen in my life. That's a nice job by Brian Cook. A touchdown, 21-0. But in the second half, back comes Miami, 4th and 10. Tua Tagovailoa can't handle the snap from center. They turn it over, the Dolphins, that is, 21-14. Kansas City on top of Miami.
All right, Jimmy, we'll talk about Taylor Heineke and the Falcons in a second, but I want to talk about Josh Dobbs. Preseason, played for Cleveland. 4 days after the start of the regular season, he's starting for Arizona. And now 5 days after getting traded to Minnesota, he's in the game playing in place of the injured Hall.
We didn't expect him to play. You know, you got Kirk Cousins went out with a ruptured Achilles, and then you got Jaron Hall goes in. Well, Jaron Hall's going to be able to play the game. Oh, no, he gets a concussion. Jaron Hall is out, so Joshua Dobbs goes in. What happens with Dobbs? He's only been there a couple of days. Takes a safety right here. You know, the pass rush gets to him. Then after that, he gets a fumble, and so they turned the ball over again. He wasn't even expecting to play, but the guy's got talent. You know, he can run around and make some plays. Here, Houdini, he gets away from the pass rush, runs down the sideline. So he's got talent, but he's only been there a couple of days, so you can't expect a whole lot out of him.
He's also got smarts, because to learn these systems like he's had to do, that is not easy.
What was his major?
Huh? Some kind of, what?
Aeronautical engineering.
Aeronautical
I
engineering.
can't even spell it, let alone play it.
They had a photo of you in that major building in Louisiana Tech and said, "Do not let him in."
Trust me, I would
not let him in.
Howard, Younghoe-Koo's got 3 field goals, but it seems as though Taylor Heineke in at quarterback has given him a little bit of spark.
And I think they realized, listen, that division's up for grabs. I mean, both these teams, a lot at stake. Minnesota right now, if the playoffs started today, they'd be the 7th seed. Atlanta's right there to win the division.
All right, a big game that will go a long way in deciding who wins the NFC East comes your way later. It's America's Game of the Week as Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles host Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. That's after the conclusion of your game in Atlanta, where right now Calais Campbell and his Falcons defense has a 1-point lead and the Verizon play of the first half.
The Verizon Halftime Show is brought to you by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL.
Next week, it's our favorite tradition here at Fox as we head to the Air Force Academy to honor the brave men and women of the military for our Veterans Day show. Plus, we've got a great day of football, all headlined by America's Game of the Week. It's a clash between the Giants and the Cowboys. Make sure you join us next Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on Fox.
This season, the Falcons announced a change from the usual salute to service game to a call to service. The change is aimed at recognizing and honoring the brave servicemen and women in the armed forces, as well as inspiring others to learn the benefits of joining the military. Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive. Joshua Dobbs getting ready to go. A 11-10 score at halftime. We have a little NFL history here. Right. First time in the history of the league that we've had a halftime score.
How many times am I going to make history? I mean, for crying out loud, I'm getting tired of it.
It's just the fact that you put a tie on is historic for us. Mark Schlereth, Chris Flyers, thanks for watching. Well, intriguing game with the quarterback play, right? Heineke to provide a spark for the Falcons who lead, but then Joshua Dobbs, who just acquired this week, called to come on. He steps in, back up to a backup, and he's provided a spark for Minnesota.
Yeah, what a tough situation, too, because he got here on Tuesday, right? So, I mean, unbelievable to have that. That amount of weight on your shoulders and to assimilate that offense. But then on top of that, that last drive, he completed or converted 3 third downs in there, a couple passes and then 1 scramble. And so a pretty interesting job. And, if that settles this offense down, that'll be a good thing for the Minnesota Vikings.
And they get the second half kickoff. Let's head down to the field and Christina.
Well, guys, I asked Kevin O'Connell how much you have to dial back your playbook with Joshua Dobbs at quarterback. He laughed and said, yeah, we put a lot of work in getting Jaren ready to play. We're going to have to piece this together right now, and it's all the other 10 guys who have to be physical. He said, I thought Josh has done a good job. He showcased that athleticism, but there is certainly a lot of coaching going on the sideline.
All right, thank you, Christina. Hey, building on the excitement of the first ever NFL game in Frankfurt earlier today, the Falcons hosting a live watch party in Frankfurt for the game. 300 Falcon fans, some travel from other parts of Germany together cheering on their birds. Falcons fan outreach in Germany, part of the NFL's global markets program. Teams can receive international marketing rights in different countries to help grow fandom across the world. And the Chiefs beat the Dolphins earlier today over in Germany. Received but won't have a chance. Let's check in with Christina Pink.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, I was just about to tell you guys that Cordero Patterson has returned, but no update on Matt Collins. He's wearing a hat on the Falcons sideline. But talking to Arthur Smith at the half, I asked him, how is Taylor Heineke executing the offense? He said, I thought he's done a good job. The only issue is we just didn't take advantage of some of their penalties defensively. He said, we've got to limit those explosive plays. We got to see some more of that in the second half.
On the coverage. 4-year starter at Old Dominion. Go back in his history. Signed undrafted with the Vikings in 2015. Never got a snap. Bounced around, spending time with the Texans and the Panthers. Even a year in the XFL. And then in Washington, he started 24 regular season games over a 3-year span there. Coming to Atlanta, it's the second highest paid backup. And he actually moved to the Atlanta area before he even signed with the Falcons. Here in the third, Heineke and the Falcons. Good look at a great weather day in downtown Atlanta, and they have the lead.
Plus.
Great to see the talented actor Danny Glover here in Atlanta. He got the new jersey, the zero. He's got the double. Kenny Burrell wore those double O's back in the day.
It's his most famous movie.
Lethal Weapon, right? And you liked Angels in the outfield.
Lethal Weapon was the nickname of our producer, Barry Landis, in high school.
He's no angel in the outfield, I'll tell you that. Robinson is loose. And ball's out.
It's pretty amazing.
It's a touchback. He's from Alpharetta High School in the Atlanta area, Joshua Dobbs. His father, a bank MVP. His mom was an exec with UPS. Back in familiar territory. And how about this? Big noon Saturday. Third-ranked Michigan taking on Penn State. It starts with Big Noon Kickoff live from Happy Valley at 10 Eastern. And then Michigan, Penn State, college football on Fox. Dobbs is hanging. Now let's check in with Carissa.
Thank you, Chris. Letting you guys know what's coming up next. America's Game of the Week, and it's a good one. Dak Prescott 7-1 in his last 8 against Philly, this being just the second time he's faced Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, who hold the NFL's best record. All coming up next.
Taylor Heineke, whose career began 2015 as a Viking, never got to play in a regular season game and bounced around, as he talked about, but happy to land in Atlanta, where he grew up, from Swanee, Georgia, and a chance to rally his Falcons. He has 5 fourth-quarter comebacks in his career. Coming up, our NFL doubleheader continues. One of the biggest games of the season, no matter how you draw it up. Dak and the Cowboys taking on Jalen and the Eagles. Some will see the Giants and Raiders, but it's here on Fox and on the Fox Sports app. Eagles with the best record in all of the NFL entering Week 9, and at home against the Cowboys. Dallas has won 4 of the last 5, and the last time Dak was in Philadelphia, he had that career-high 5 touchdown performance game. So that'll be a good one, and this is a good one.
Saturday on Fox.
2 minutes to go in Atlanta. 4-point game, and the Falcons with the lead. A week ago, Joshua Dobbs was a member of the Cardinals, trying for his first game-winning drive in his career after Taylor Heineke and the Falcons took a 28-24 advantage. Kirk Cousins, who had the season-ending surgery and it went well, and prior to the game, a lot of the guys had their quarterback on their minds, on their T-shirts.
All right, we talked to Harrison Smith, and he said, man, Kirk Cousins just has the ultimate respect of this entire football team. They love him, man. He is their leader. He is so connected with this team, and I'll tell you what.
And the Viking defense prevails. Joshua Dobbs, 5th team in a calendar year, 7th overall, acquired this week from Arizona for a 6th conditional and a 7th round pick. Rallies Minnesota, and the defense holds on. What a win for the Vikings. That's 4 in a row. Mark Schlereth, Chris Myers, Christina Pink, our entire crew. A thrilling game here in Atlanta. State Farm. Game break straight ahead.